Namaste, beautiful yogis. Today I want to basically cover or go over some of the benefits of the Mental Detox challenge. Just share my experience from the Mental Detox challenge, and also that is the start of the continuation of that challenge, or the deepening, or just the continuation, however you want to take it. I have a few notes. So because it's evening here and hopefully my brain is not very scattered, but I'll cover the note. And I have a email from the girl that I responded to last time, a very cool email, and I will respond again because it's really all about the challenge. And even if you don't have the exact same challenges that she has, we all ultimately face a similar battle, and we all ultimately have to use similar tools to better ourselves, to grow, and to awaken. So the benefits of the challenge, one of the first benefits is when you have a negative thought or a judgment, if you were very aware of your energy, you would know that your energy just sinks. Any moment you have, even if to you that's a valid judgment, criticism, or so forth, if you are observing your actual energy field, you will see that that has a negative impact on your aura or on your energy field, and therefore it sinks also your energy, like your vitality, actually through your day. It doesn't feed you with energy when you judge or when you have a negative thought. And self-judgment is absolutely the same thing as judgment. That's why we don't have the right to judge others or to judge ourselves. You have to discriminate. That's a completely different story, and not allow certain people in your life. But to just go around and judge or judge yourself, there is no point to that. Anything we do, there has to be a point to it. We have to be doing it with the purpose of growth, building, awakening, and so forth. We can't just do useless things over and over again. So when we stop the negative patterns of thinking, judging, self-judging, criticizing others, criticizing ourselves, or just running the same negative loop, basically when we cease that pattern, we are freeing up a lot of energy in order to be creative and to create positive momentum in our life, to manifest things that we are starting to build from the mind out, manifesting basically. So we're basically freeing up energy that we can use in a positive way or in a creative way in order to grow and better ourselves. Now, it is the challenge creates awareness, which is in essence basically getting to know ourselves. You know, that's one of the basic things in spirituality is, and in religion, know thyself. Once that is the basis of growth, is to get to know yourself. From there, everything expands. So the challenge is literally bringing awareness to your own self and to your patterns, and it's keeping you awake through your day, meaning it is good to have this awareness constantly. Like for example, a different thing that also creates awareness is when you walk, to be very aware of your environment, to not just walk asleep and to not remember how you got from point A to point B, but to be aware of your environment. The same thing is during your day when there is thoughts on autopilot, to be aware of that. So that was the other benefit of the challenge. Now, the challenge focuses on your day-to-day patterns, but of course that will always expose your deeper issues, because everything is interconnected. We can't slice things up and say this is my deep issues, this is my core issues, and these are my current issues. Everything is interconnected. So it will expose you and open up those things that you need to deal with or face. That is one of the things with certain habitual thoughts and patterns. They are there, and even victim mentality, they're there in order for people to cope or find a way to avoid dealing with real real issues. So sometimes we have sadness, grief, we have unresolved emotion towards the situation in our life, and we, instead of going into that emotion because it's too painful, we find a way to basically avoid dealing with the emotion, and we become negative about other things or clinging on to victimhood and so forth. So the challenge is helping to release unconsciousness and resentment, blame, victimhood, and so forth. It is allowing us to learn new habits, and that is the basis of growth. When we're always a student, always a beginner, always ready to learn, and always ready to shift and grow. In essence, change, but not change who you are. Change your habits in order for you to continue growing into who you are here to be. Now, the challenge also can make you very aware of certain patterns of thinking that are not yours, that you picked up along the way from your childhood or from your cultural surroundings. So it is allowing you to begin to discover who you truly are outside of conditioning. That is so major. This is so major. And we can keep going with this challenge for a long time, obviously. And it will give you, for me, it just freed up so much energy and time for self-actualization, self-betterment, for new tasks, for work, for service, and so forth. It just somehow, it didn't just lift up my energy, it opened up my time. Almost, I had way more time in the day to do almost twice as much as I was doing before. There is time is a little bit of a spiritual concept, and you know, sometimes time can pass real fast and sometimes it can pass real slow. It is a dimensional thing, so it did have that impact on me. So I do feel that if you use the challenge, or if you use that consciousness with that intention, you will notice that too. I do believe that it has that effect to just open up energy and time for you. Basically, what I personally understand and applied during the challenge is that happiness is a choice. Happiness is a pure choice. It's an attitude to see beauty in what we're going through at the moment, to see beauty in our life and in where we're at the moment, and to have gratitude for it. It is a choice. We can, in any situation, choose to be grateful and to grow from it, or choose to be stuck in it. But being stuck is not a curse, it's a choice. And also, we can re-examine happiness from a personal value perspective, rather than happiness that is media created. We all have expectations from media and from comparing ourselves to others as to what happiness is, and we can step back away from that conditioning and expectations, from those expectations, and reestablish happiness from within. Happiness really is a choice moment to moment. We are all here with the capacity to experience joy and happiness moment to moment. Most of our life we are fine. There are actual challenges that we face in life that require a lot of grieving and sadness, but all in all, those moments are brief, as opposed to the moments when we're just okay in the daily grind or in our daily life. And happiness is just a product of gratitude. Basically, it comes down to that. And that's how we replaced the loops, the mental loops. That was our first tool. We replaced them with gratitude. For the next chapter of the challenge, I would like to introduce some tools such as journaling, vision board, and a planner. So I'm excited about that, but I will announce this in some of the next videos. So basically, I here have written down some notes, and I see one of them is kind of cute. Happiness is not something that just happens outside of you and you just kind of happens to you and you experience it. It's a product of your intention. It's the result of your intentions in the past, and purposeful creation. It is a choice. It is a capacity to be grateful and thankful and present. I think that's a very good definition of happiness. It's really a result. I will repeat it. It's a result of your intentions in the past and your intentions in the moment. It is a purposeful creation, a choice, and the capacity to be grateful and present. Literally, that is happiness, because there is nothing outside of you that is just gonna happen to you and will make you happy. We know a lot of people that have perfect conditions and they're not happy, because that is the attitude they have chosen. So basically, through the challenge, we're learning how to shift the perspective and to rewrite our attitude towards things, and even rewrite our attitude towards the past. And get this is major, you can even rewrite your past. Nothing is set in stone. Reality is kind of fluid. It's kind of reality is not as dense as we tend to perceive it in our physical bodies. Reality is a product of time and dimension and space, right? So it is somewhat fluid, our reality here. And even if you feel that you're so solid and so safe and everything is so predictable, life will prove you wrong. Reality is very fluid. So we even have the capacity to rewrite our past, because how we remember our past and how we interpret our past is our choice. And we saw the past from our perspective, so we do have the choice to change our past. We do. Now, with the challenge, it was also negative loops, negative patterns, negative thoughts, and negative words. So with negative words and thoughts, they can rob you from your energy. Now, if you wanna do a little, we can do a little exercise. You can take a few nice deep breaths, close your eyes. I'm sitting on a ball, so I'm a little more bouncy, and take a nice Ujjayi breath. Bring yourself to the moment. Contract Mula Bandha to ground yourself. Now scan your body and be very aware of your body, how you experience your body, where your body is fluid, where there is energy radiating out, where there is stuckness, where there is lack of energy or darkness somewhere, some places, or maybe there. Just scan your body quickly. And if it takes you a while to learn to scan your body, that will be part of our upcoming challenge. So now you're feeling your body. That's what yoga teaches us. And say the word pain 10 times, 5 to 10 times. Just saying it, pain, 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 a few more times. And now watch your energy. How do you feel? Do you feel contraction? How is that word making you feel? And where are you feeling whatever you're feeling? Is there a closing up, constriction, a contraction? Just see how it makes you feel. Maybe it makes you feel heavy. Observe it. Maybe there is more darkness or just less illumination in some areas of your body. And now we'll do the opposite. Take a few nice deep breaths. And we're gonna say the word freedom 10 times. Freedom, 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 freedom. And a few more times. Freedom, freedom. how does that make you feel? Where do you feel it? How would you describe the feeling? So part of the challenge will become journaling, vision boarding, time planner, and also scanning our body, awareness of our body and where we feel things. So becoming very aware of your energy and of your subtle energy, because we do understand our energy when we're jumping around on the mat, right? Or when we're cleaning, and if we have energy or not. But also, is your energy vibrating on a higher frequency, lower frequency? Are you syncing your energy with some of your thoughts, or are you elevating yourself? Are you freeing yourself, opening yourself for new experiences, for learning, for growing? And which thoughts are making you expand, which thoughts are making you contract, which thoughts are giving you energy, which are robbing you from energy. All those things are important. And when we're stuck in the past or stuck in a pattern, we are not revenging anybody, or we're not saying it's okay whatever they did or any of that. We are punishing ourselves. So being a victim, it's just you continuing to punish your own self. It makes no sense. But people are so attached to it. I had a very interesting experience. I'll tell you in a little bit. But yes, we are basically, when we are having a victimhood mentality, or when we're judging others, or we're having a pity party or something like that, we're basically avoiding how we actually feel. And it's okay to go through your true, real feelings, face them, and move forward. So there is no stuckness when you're dealing with real feelings. If you experience grief, as long as it's something constantly shifting, you're able to move through it and get through stages of it, you're doing good. Once you get stuck, you're going to be able to read your energy and be more aware of yourself. I think that kind of covers what the challenge, kind of what the purpose of the challenge was, and also what I experienced with the challenge. And when you have negative patterns, one more thing before I read the email, is when you have negative patterns, one thing is that a lot of them are opinions or beliefs that you over-identify with. Even victimhood is something you can over-identify with. Beliefs, judgments towards others, judgment towards yourself. Those are all beliefs that you over-identify with. And generally, when we have beliefs, we're most likely wrong. Because if we're here for another 300 years, those beliefs will most likely shift in some form and in some way as we gain wisdom. We're not completed here. We're not done and perfect and completed, and our beliefs are all perfect. No, nothing could be further from the truth. We're here to grow, expand, learn, and become wiser. So last time I responded to an email from someone because I wanted to respond to her in a video, just because she is actually she is literally, I will just say her first name, and I hope I pronounce it right, but literally you're on the verge of total awakening, because obviously I can feel it through your email, and that's why I'm reading it, because it's creating dialogue about particularly the challenge. So this is her response. If you haven't watched her my last challenge upload where I read her email and I responded, you can pause here, watch it, and this is a continuation of it. And that's her answer. I will respond to her, and I will let her know I responded in a video. So I watched your response, and it was more than I expected. Thank you for such a complete and profound answer. It took me some time to really hear every message you wanted to send. Few of them were very strong for my personal story, like the past is dead and the victim role. Yeah, the past is dead. You are keeping a dead man alive with your vital energy. You are sinking your energy into the ground to keep something dead alive, to keep it going. Imagine you're dragging around a dead plant all your life, and you're just trying to kind of like keep it from crumbling and pull the pot with you everywhere, and it's a dead plant or a dead person, or you're just trying to sustain something that is dead. So that's what it is. It's sucking your vital energy out of you for you to just keep it alive or keep it with you. So basically that resonated with her. The past is dead and victim story. I was clinging to my victim role, and it was, I now see, an excuse for not living in the present and for avoiding to pursue life of my own. Yeah, I actually here will tell you that story. I came across someone that was exactly perfectly fitted in this challenge. Basically, on a forum, on an internet forum, it was an astrology forum, and I just said something of the sort is that we are not stuck in astrology. Yeah, it's not a set course the way the chart is. It's actually, everything is a blessing and an opportunity. It's a guidance in which area we want to grow. And this person, this girl attacked me and said, you're on a power trip, which whenever someone says something like this, you know they're talking to themselves, because we don't know each other, and it's a little too aggressive at first. And then lots of anger in her words, and then she goes, I am a victim because you don't know my childhood, and I was locked as a kid by my mother, and a terrible childhood. Now, I can't respond to anybody that has gone through something just as terrible as that. And when I'm saying you're not a victim, I don't mean that those things didn't happen to you, or they are not valid, or they're not horrendous, or they're fair, or anything like that. I just mean that you have two options now that something has happened to you. One is to assume that you're a victim, someone did something very wrong to you, and you're forever angry, and you have no choice. You were... life was unfair to you. Or your other option is to grow from it, to let yourself heal, to forgive, and to move forward. Because if you don't, no one is going to care other than you are continuing that cycle of self-punishment. If you continue being the victim and everybody agrees with you and feeds you that, and you're throwing it at strangers the way she did at me. I didn't ask her anything. She didn't need to tell me her past. Obviously, it's her badge of honor. And I do appreciate that it was probably whatever happened to her. It was terrible. That is not the point. The point is, once something happens to you, what do you do from there forward? Once you're okay and safe, do you live in hell forever? And who would suffer from your hell? Just you? Or do you find a way to transform and understand that that was in some form your blessing, so that you can move forward? Be it karma, be it just an opportunity for you to grow from a very challenging situation. However, in whatever way happened, once you choose to move forward, you're going to expand and grow. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's very sensitive. And as I was speaking about spiritual issues, I burned my cauliflower and pumpkin. It is a very sensitive subject, and it's not something that I would even respond to the person or anything. I didn't engage her, because it is not my place to tell her that her anger is hurting her further. But I'm just giving it as an example of a badge of honor, because she is continuing to punish herself now that she's safe and an adult. And she's attacking strangers with extreme anger, which is understandable. I understand it. I'm just explaining that at one point you have to shift forward, or you will just die in that place of anger. And that is probably not the reason why you went through the whole experience in the first place. Anyway, so continuing with the email. I was clinging to my victim role, and it was, I now see, an excuse for not living in the present and for avoiding to pursue life of my own. Yes, because when you're clinging to the past, that's the familiar and you basically are fearful of the future. So basically the past, as nasty as it is, it's your familiar place, a place where you feel comfortable, and it's a known place for you. You know what to expect there. Otherwise you will have to rewrite who you are, and also you have to learn how to be joyous. So yes, also I ignored all the great things that people in my life and and I was putting a pause button on the now, because I thought I should first fix myself and my past so I could enjoy this moment, and fixing never came. Yes, that's that mentality of once I'm perfect, I will do this. Once I lose weight, I will be happy. But if you're not happy in the present conditions, no conditions will ever change how you feel about a situation, because the perfection, first of all, will never come. And if you expect to be happy from external conditions, that will never happen. Happiness is an inside job, an internal process. But you said it perfectly, to enjoy now, serve now, love now, and I get it. The choice is to be brave and to push yourself away from the mind traps. Yes, you're totally getting it. And you're there. You're on the verge of, it is a major milestone or a major breakthrough for you. Keep going forward. You're right there. You're moving exactly in the direction where your soul wants to move in. And yes, I was resisting for so long to experience the breath of now, because I thought it would mean that it was okay what my parents did to me. No, you forgive so that you can grow and move forward. They don't matter. Unfortunately, as crazy as this may sound, this experience was for you, and they don't matter. You're not punishing them by being miserable. They don't care. And even if they care on a surface level, truly deeply for your soul growth, what matters is for you to overcome it and move forward and grow and become wiser. And it being okay is just freeing you. It has nothing to do with them. They have their own karma. Don't worry about them. Whatever people do, they're responsible for anything we do. We're responsible for it. We don't need to worry about other people. Just look at your own stuff, because you're missing out on your own growth if you're worried about others. But it just kept me in my own crazy prison-like mind. I have a few questions though. As I was used to being submissive, and everyone in my family is used to treating me as their emotional and mental garbage can, they rarely see me but are preoccupied with gossip or other patterns, and treat me like a therapist and a mediator between their dysfunctional relationships. How to create personal boundaries by stating my truth so I don't get involved in their toxic talks. Every time I try to shine and share my success or some positive change in my life, they feel threatened and undermine it. How to love them and separate from their mental beliefs at the same time. Namaste, and I can hardly wait for the next challenge. This was so needed. This one was so needed. Learning to have strong boundaries is a process. Keep doing the mental challenge, because it will make you more aware of your own relationship with yourself, which is your relationship with others eventually. Better your relationship with your own self, and eventually that will translate in a stronger relationship, or more a relationship of integrity with others. Now you have to, through mindfulness, learn to respect your own self, and that will be the only thing you'll be able to take from others. When there is an established pattern of people not respecting you, then you have to step away. You have to draw the line of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. You have to remove yourself from drama, because, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's just robbing you from your energy. Gossip, drama, that just robs you from your energy to create, to be positive, to create momentum forward, to serve, and to be creative, to just have an output in the world, to do what you're here to do, to serve the world, to change the world in some way, to change yourself through growth. So keep deepening the relationship with yourself, because ultimately once you have deep respect for yourself, you are only going to accept that from others, and whenever they overcross their boundaries, you're just gonna remove them from your inner circle. And sometimes it sucks. You have to remove certain people from your inner circle. That does not affect whether you love them or not. Loving people and accepting them in their dysfunctionality in your life are two different things. You have to separate love from their character. You can love people, but you can still understand that their character is extremely flawed and dysfunctional at the moment, and it is going nowhere. And sometimes sharing positivity with some people goes nowhere because they don't want to hear anything positive. They just do not want to hear it. And unfortunately, in my experience, there's nothing you can do about it. If people are stuck in their place, there is pretty much nothing you can do about it other than step away, have minimal contact with them, keep it on surface level if you have to, and just do your thing. Meet them whenever you have to meet them. Don't worry about changing them. Often people, when they begin to awaken, they start thinking, oh, other people should join me. No, worry about yourself. The only way you can influence people is by you growing yourself, you internally growing. Don't worry about spreading the light for others, because you can't spread light that you haven't cultivated yet. So cultivate your own light. And I know that the video is long at this point, so I'm gonna leave it at that. That wasn't a very full response to your question, but because the challenge will be about relationships, I think we'll go way deeper into this particular question. There was a lot of requests on the group about relationships and how to cultivate relationships of respect in our life. So I'll go deeper into this, but I think that kind of summarized what it is. And if you guys have any suggestions for the upcoming challenge, which I do have a strong vision of what it is going to be, but it will also take its own form, of course. If you have any suggestions, any topics of discussion that you want me to cover, any wisdom, anything of that nature, just post it below. I love the discussion form of this challenge, and also I love to share my own experience with it because it's powerful. All right, I will go check on my burning pumpkin, and I will see you with the continuation of this challenge and some yoga classes, of course. Namaste.